Welcome to Just Danny Alves. And Deadpool and Wolverine just released in the movie theaters, and I'm here to talk all about the movie. Deadpool and Wolverine, the Marvel bromance that we love. Deadpool is like you give superpowers to a frat guy, and Wolverine like a Canadian smoking cigars douchebag that is kind of angry for no reason. Deadpool has the uncanny ability that transform any scene to a R-rated movie scene that makes you kind of say, "Yeah, that's pretty funny." Like Van Wilder gets superpowers and don't shut up. But let's go to the movie. It starts with Wade, Deadpool, killing a bunch of guys at sound of Backstreet Boys, which is pretty funny. He used Wolverine's skeleton as weapons, which is hilarious from a beginning of a movie. And then you discover that Wade was just doing that for because he should have a Wolverine to fix his timeline, and since the Wolverine from his reality is already dead from the Logan movie, you have to find another Wolverine. And by this, he takes a lot of other Wolverines as test. There's a Wolverine with an eye patch. There's a Wolverine that's kind of too small to be a Wolverine, but actually the proper height of the comics. We also have the post-apocalyptic Wolverine with no like one only arm. We see a classic Wolverine in a fight with the Hulk, and you just see the Hulk glimpsed by the reflections on Wolverine's claws, which is because they have a budget. Mark Ruffalo is kind of expensive. We see a Wolverine stuck in a big axe like he's Jesus. Okay, Marvel. But the biggest cameo between the Wolverines is that they put Henry Cavill, yes, the Superman, to do a just one scene where he's the Wolverine. Deadpool calls him Culverine and makes a fun of like you'll be so much more appreciated than the DC comics. It's pretty funny, and everybody on the theater was just howling when they saw it. But finally, he sees the Wolverine that we're gonna get to the movie, which is a Wolverine that kind of lost all the X-Men, and he's drunk, he's got issues, blah blah blah. Then we see this Wolverine with the classic uniform of the X-Men with the yellow and the blue, and we see that Deadpool has a plan. He's gonna fix the multi-universe, or this MacGuffin weapon that they created to erase all the multiverse timelines, which is kind of a bad plot for the movie, but just to put them in together. After that, the TVA sends him to the Void. In the Void, there's a lot of Marvel things that they just use it and discarded through the years. Like there's a Captain American shield. There's the classic Thor helmet. The the favorite part is then making fun of Fox. There's a big 21st century logo of Fox, and they because they're dead. We see a crazy action between Wolverine and Deadpool. And then we see kind of a Mad Max coming to them with Pyro from X-Men 2 and Sabretooth and Toad from X-Men 1. And then we see Chris Evans, yes, Captain America. He's back in the business, baby. He's there and he says he's gonna say it, and everybody's waiting for the Avengers assemble, and he just say flame on. Yes, this is the Chris Evans that did the Human Torch in the first Fantastic Four movies, which is kind of a, if you think is the best Fantastic Four movies, which is not a hard thing to do. Then they get transported to a big Ant-Man uh, dead person, and we get to know the true villain of this movie, which is Cassandra, which is actually Charles Xavier twin from another dimension that just got discarded like the rest of us, like trash. And she got superpowers of getting inside of people's heads with their fingers. Kind of gross. Deadpool and Wolverine escape of that, and they met another Deadpool, or Nice Pool, which is Ryan Reynolds making fun of himself for being pretty and having long hair and being nice and pretty. We get to know also Dogpool, or Brittany, I think is his name. They got a car, and in this car, Wolverine's learned that Deadpool was kind of lying to him. He got a education, educated wish that everything is gonna get okay. And then we see the biggest cameos of this movie. They are in a kind of a cave, and then we see Elektra. Yes, Elektra from Daredevil, which is from Jennifer Garner, and she's still fire. Then we see X-23. We saw also see Gambit, which is from an no no a trash project that they didn't use it. It's Gambit as it's Channing Tatum as Gambit with a horrible speech, kind of French, kind of not. But the biggest cameo of the scene is Blade. Man, Wesley Snipes comes back as Blade in this movie, and it's awesome. And he still got it. They form a team and they go to Cassandra's lair to fight them and get the Juggernaut's helmet. Yes, Juggernaut's back. Is another dude, and they just want his helmet to fight Cassandra's, mind powers. We also figure out that Logan abandoned the X-Men and let them die, and this consumes him for a long, long time. But then Cassandra kind of turns and says, "Okay, I'm gonna get you to another dimension, and you can fight back this thing." They they pass through a portal of a Doctor Strange, because it's the only way that this movie works, which is like magic. They come back to the prime timeline, and they discover that the machine that's gonna end all timelines is almost done to be ready. But before the big fight, they have a fight with all the Deadpools from all the dimensions. A girl pool, a kid pool, a western cowboy pool. And it's pretty fucking funny, but it's not exactly what we want. We want all the Deadpools fighting together to, fix the problems. But anyway, Marvel sometimes doesn't hit the home run, right? And we see this long sequence of all the Deadpools fighting the original Deadpool and Logan. Logan is using the classic uniform, and he puts the mask on, which is also the classic one. We're all waiting for that since, Wolverine, that weird one in Japan that they just kind of get a glimpse of the real Wolverine. But the fight is interrupted by Peter Pool, or just Peter. And we discovered that every Deadpool has a Peter, and Peters are awesome. And this gives the original Deadpool and Wolverine to go to the lair and find Cassandra using the machine, and they get together and destroy the machine, which is, you know, an acceptable ending for this fight. We got a glimpse of Hugh Jackman's still nice man, still working, and damn. And the movie ends up with them talking, eating shawarma, making fun of the Avengers first movie. In conclusion, this movie is pretty great. I know a lot of people's gonna complain about too many cameos, too many dumb jokes, or just give us like a good story. But Deadpool is not a good story. It's basically a guy who breaks the fourth wall and does dick jokes. So I hope you enjoyed this movie, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Bye guys.